So yeah, keep that in mind if you are rocking that tinkering engraving, defensive engraving. Once it does expire, the game actually will get rid of one of your prototypes. Colonel Gearhart and her War Factory. Probably the least favorable Cycle of Evil event out of the bunch. Let me know in the comments if Imitation Game, in your opinion, is the least favorable of the Cycle of Evil. But in today's video, I will be using some old school Boom Beach troops. We're talking heavy Zuka. We're going to sneak in one boat of Medic, with hero of choice being Private Bullet with Taunt. Taking on today's War Factory. I'm not too big on the starting threat level and the leaderboards for War Factory. I'm more so big on just getting my evil coins and my Proto Tokens. And then stay tuned to the very end of the video, where you're going to see some players absolutely struggle on taking on Captain Borealis with my 5 damage amplifiers. That's right, we've got a couple base defense to show you with players just absolutely struggling. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking on Colonel Gearhart's War Factory, snagging up our evil coins, our Proto Tokens, and I'm pretty excited to show you players just absolutely struggling to take on Captain Borealis's layout, still loaded with my 5 damage amplifiers. I want to give a big shout out to Buford, just absolutely sending it here with Captain Everspark, Rifleman, of course, that is Skull Rifleman, and Zukas. We've got Laser Rangers, and of course, Bomba's there. We've got a live attack actually going on in OG20 right now, so I want to give a big shout out to Buford. We'll probably just pull this one in here. So again, with Colonel Gearhart and War Factory, I don't care too much about the threat level and, you know, acquiring a leaderboard position. I'm more so big on, once again, doesn't matter what the Cycle of Evil event is, I want my evil coins and I want my Proto Tokens. Now, I made a mistake in my last video, actually. I called the Proto Tokens previous hero tokens that are now Proto Tokens. That was a mistake. Again, guys, there's so much to know with Boom Beach. Hero tokens and Proto Tokens are 2 completely different tokens. So the hero tokens did not get converted into Proto Tokens. Proto Tokens are their own token, their own identity, and hero tokens are also their own token, their own identity. Buford absolutely smashing it there. Well done, buddy. This is what we're going to be rocking today. We've got our stylish heavies with our stylish medic, one landing craft of stylish medic, 3 bolts of Zukas, Private Bullet with Taunt. And normally, you know, I love going in boosted, but in today's video, we're actually not going to be going in boosted here, which means we're not going to be boosting any of our engravings, and we're not going to be boosting any of our statues here. But of course, you know, we will get turning of the, just double checking. Yeah, so my engraver has expired there. I did have some engravers boosted the last couple of days there. I think I did get my tinkering going. Oh, that's right, with tinkering out of the way. Oh, that's okay. That's right. We're not doing we're not doing a Hammerman video. So again, my tinkering, that's crazy. I guess that's one thing to point out. So my tinkering engraving is no longer active, which means that my damage amplifier is no longer there. So the game actually got rid of one of my damage amplifiers after I extended it for the 36 hours. So I think I had almost 2 days with 5 damage amplifiers. Just out of curiosity, if I do boost that tinkering again, I'm just curious to see if I magically get my damage amplifier back, which of course I'm not expecting, but we do have tinkering boosted. You gain an additional prototype defense slot, and gunboat damage taken by prototypes is reduced by 49.5%. That's just the current level that I do have my tinkering defensive engraving at here. So we've just reboosted it. And again, I don't think it's just going to, no, of course, it's not going to magically appear. It's not going to magically go back into your, well, I'm going to get training my 5th one yet again here. So yeah, keep that in mind if you are rocking that tinkering engraving, defensive engraving. Once it does expire, the game actually will get rid of one of your prototypes. So back over here to the heavy Azuka, guys. I'll just go over to the armory for a second here to show you the unboosted heavy Azukas. And yes, I know I still have to max out a lot of my troops. Jim, I'm working on my base. So, of course, my Zukas are 1 level away from max. We are level 26 right now. Of course, that health and that damage per second there. and going over to the stylish heavies here, the health and the damage there. So again, the purple stats are just my statues regular, and the statues that I am rocking on Captain Borealis here. This is a crab account, or I try to take this account a little bit more seriously with crabbing here. So we've got 2 gunboat energy, we've got 4 of the troop health, and then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the troop damage here. So I believe all of them are perfect. No, that's 1% away from perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. 13 is perfect, 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 perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. And I'm literally 2% away from a perfect on Borealis here. I've literally rolled 4 42% GBEs on SkullCrusher. So, okay, guys, we've got the troops loaded here. We've got Private Bullet with Taunt ready to go. Colonel Gearhart in War Factory. Are you guys a fan of the, well, battle details for Gearhart? That building damage is at 51%, and building health is at 151%. So there's a lot of grapplers on here, which is why I want to use Private Bullet, because I pretty much want the grapplers to pull Bullet in, and then Bullet just taunting the world. So my plan is literally just to have Bullet just taunt the world, baby. I'm expecting the grapplers to keep pulling him all over the place once he's not shocked anymore, and we can just keep cycling that taunt. He seems to be pinned down by the shock launchers now. All I'm trying to do is get that taunt off now, and those grapplers are not, or those shock launchers. There we go. Now we get that taunt off. Back over here. I'm not expecting too much here. A couple hits at most here, especially going in unboosted here. My plan is just to keep firing off bullets at taunt here. The heavies are dropping up pretty quick here. Zookas are doing a good job just chipping forward here. I know I asked in the comments in the previous video if you were a fan of the ×3 or the normal speed here. Once again, I think Jim was the only one that actually responded with ×3. So maybe for the second hit here, we'll go in with ×3 here. We'll fire off one more taunt here as these Zookas ride things out to the ender. So that was our first hit there, unboosted with heavy Zooka on War Factory starting threat 18 here. And the good thing, oh, we still got a little bit of gunboat energy. Let's just, too late on that. Remember to dispose of the remainder of your gunboat energy. So we hit a few stages there, but I'm pretty sure you're all, sorry, let's reload the troops there. It's not too expensive on gold here. I think you were all aware of this with War Factory, but we got that burning house icon there. So War Factory has residual damage that carries forward here. So these bases have permanent damage. If you fail to destroy the base, any damage you did will remain when you attempt another attack. So we've got 4 attacks left here. You've got 5 attacks altogether to bring down Gearhart. So we're going to go in for our second hit now. And those grapplers are probably going to pull Bullet in a little bit early. So let's drop one boat of heavies to use them as the cannon fodder here, or at least that's the plan. I think we're going to shock the CMOs here and just kind of push forward from right here. We'll get one critter coming out, just kind of open up those 2 shock mines there. Get that taunt. There we go. Oh, no, that's a heavy. I want those grapplers to pull in Bullet. Okay, it's kind of... Medics are literally running right into the medics. Medics are running right into the grapplers with the heavies that are being pulled in. But here we go. We've got taunt activated right now. We got Bullet in a really, really good spot here. We're just going to keep that taunt going, cycling that taunt. So if you pay attention to Bullet and taunt here, we're going to fire off taunt one more time. And you should see red lines. Actually, I don't see those red lines yet. Normally, there's red lines. There we go. So you see those red lines that appear. So when you see those 3 red lines disappear, that's 1 second before taunt is inactive, which means that's your cue to fire off taunt again when you see those 3 red lines disappear. So it looks like we're probably going to end up pulling this one in on 3 hits here. Get that taunt going one more time. If we can actually take out one of these grapplers. No, those machine guns have different plans here. Medkit, medic. No, that's not going to happen there. So again, if we can just get taunt, I like that we've got Bullet just taunting away here. Mortars are distracted. I mean, our Zookas are getting pulled apart one by one. We've got 3 left here. But if we can at least finish off the mortars here, let's go ×3 right now. Mortars are doing a little bit of job, and let's just drop the rest of the GBE right on the core there. So that's our second hit on Colonel Gearhart's War Factory, pulling in 700 more evil coins, 268 more of the Proto Tokens. So we're going in for our hopefully third and final hit now for War Factory Threat 18. Again, I'm not too big on the starting threat levels or the threat for Colonel Gearhart. Okay, let's go for a flare right now. Cycle a shock on the grapplers there as we kind of move into a position here. And if we were boosted, I mean, we probably would have done this in one hit. But, again, I've had a few people point out that, not every hit should be boosted. But, I try to time my map clearing and my operational hits. If I can double dip, meaning, hit one operation in the last 3 hours of the op and then hit the following op in the next, however long until my boost expires, that's, maximizing your power powder and taking full advantage of it. So yeah, that shield is absolutely melting considering the shield generators are all the way over here. So we're going to fire off that taunt one more time. That Doom Cannon is pulled in. Shields are down. This one's dropping. 3, 2, oh, it's over. Boom! Goes the dynamite. So, all right, we just reached multiple thresholds here. Threshold 5, Threshold 6, Threshold number 7, 910 more evil coins. I think that was 310 more of the Proto Tokens. Gearhart's War Factory, Colonel Gearhart's War Factory is accomplished here. Again, not too big on the leaderboards, 8,402. I mean, we'll check out of curiosity anyways. I wasn't planning on showcasing War Factory 2 ways here, but I just finished map clearing with my SkullCrusher account, right back up to 1,606 VP. But with that being said, we went in for War Factory right at the very end. Absolutely crushed it. One hit wonder, one hit takedown with the Warriors here. Full at 1,945 evil coins, 833 Proto Tokens. So nice resources stacking on that. And just look at these attacker bonuses here. So we've got our troop damage at plus 222%, troop health at plus 98%, and gunboat energy at plus 186%. Check this madness out here. With some smoky critter action to distract the CMOs here. So starting things off here, so we got to bring this right back down to normal speed here. We cleared the mines with some barrage. 2 smoke drop, 3 smoke drop with a 2 critter drop, follow up 3 smoke drop. Look at those CMOs. We got 8 CMOs there. So you're going to see actually as we smoke our way and anchor to the mid CMO there, follow up to the core. There was another 3rd critter box that actually went on that mid CMO there. And as that shield, or as those smokes get ready to expire, we cycle 1, 2, 4 shocks. We actually missed this one flamethrower right here, which the second I noticed that, I was like, oh crap, this is over. But Bullet was doing, look, all the CMOs are taunted here. I was hoping that the grapplers would keep pulling Bullet in, but even as the shocks expire now, so the shield goes down. The shocks expired right before the shield goes down, but we got a good chunk of warriors, pretty much from 12 all the way to 6, and they just brought that down. Love me some one-hit wonders on War Factory. And now, as promised here, I do have a couple base defense here, which I do want to show you here. Right over here with King Bems. This was 968 VP opponent. And then right over here, HDDD. I think he was just testing my base on that one. This was another solid defense right here. So let's check this one out here. View battle. So this is 5 damage amplifiers absolutely having their way. Just melting my opponents here. I guess you can say I'm being a little bit of a bully considering, I mean, my VP is almost 500 VP higher here. But, we are pretty much the same level. I mean, he's just trying to farm some GBE now. But I'm not sure what he was thinking here. I mean, he dropped the armored units on the right side, which is where we're heavier with the boom cannons here. So he definitely should have gone left side with the Scorchers if that was his plan here. But just the continuous volley from the rocket launchers and, just the boom cannons that we have on that right side. That was a terrible decision from King Bemis there, King Bems. But you know what? I'm sure he'll learn from his mistake there. And next time he attempts to attack me, I mean, he should take it from the left side there. Avoid a lot of those boom cannons there. And again, those rocket launchers with those 5 damage amplifiers just continuously firing on those volleys. Remember, each one of these rocket launchers, minus one of them, is doing about 600 DPS. That's, and that's 6 rockets per volley. That's, 5-second reload, 4 rocket launchers firing at once. That's a lot of damage, man. And then over here, so that was King Bems right there. And then we've got HDDDD. No, we're not sharing that. Let's check this madness out. View battle. So here we go. This was smarter. This was much smarter. Approaching from the left side there, avoiding the heavily armored boom cannons that we've got there for single shot defenses. Single shot defenses for heavily armored units. And over here, again, the rocket launch. I guess that for this attack, we were already down the shocking the rocket launchers, but it looked like he got the damage amplifiers there. So I guess my tinkering engraving had already expired because we do only have 4 damage amplifiers on this defense against HDDD. But this guy is absolutely getting melted here. He's getting stopped in his tracks here. So I'm pretty excited to keep playing around with tinkering. I think for next Hammerman, as the threat continues to increase, depending on the prototypes that we have on the cycle, I had somebody point out that 5 shock blasters. So we may do 5 shock blasters on the next one, or just in general, we're going to be doing ×5 of a freaking prototype. So let me know in the comments what ×5 prototype you would like to see versus Hammerman. I think Shock Blaster is going to be taking number 1 here. So a couple base defense there with the stacked damage amplifiers, 5 DAs on one, 4 DAs on the other, as the tinkering defensive engraving did expire. So Skull Army, Boom Community, if you have made it this far into the video, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me, does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. We'll catch you all on the next one. It's time to make like a Tom and cruise. Peace!